How's it going, everybody? It's Pride here, and welcome back to another video, another Q&A video specifically. Like always, if you have questions for these, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, and if I haven't gotten to them in the past, I'll most likely get to them now. In the background, you guys are seeing some basically throwaway invasions from my most recent live stream that I did on the 30th, before Halloween, and they were basically cosplays as like a Halloween cosplay. Probably won't have the main video out for a couple days, but here's some of those clips, I guess. But I do have a few questions from you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. First one that I did get asked: are you going to be playing the Monster Hunter beta, Monster Hunter World beta? Because in case you guys don't know, just recently the beta was announced. I believe it's only going to be on PS4 for people who have PlayStation Plus, which is kind of a bummer. You know, it is a multi-platform game, also on PC, I believe. So it is kind of a bummer that it is going to be just on PS4. People on Xbox One won't be able to play it, but I definitely will be trying out the beta. It comes out December 12th, I think. And if that's not it, then I'll have the actual date right on the screen. But I'm pretty excited for Monster Hunter World. You know, I've talked a little bit about it in the past. I have gotten a bunch of questions, and it's cool that it does seem like a lot of people from the Souls community are pretty interested. I know that Monster Hunter is really popular in Japan. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but is this the first Monster Hunter on console? At least, you know, like 360, Xbox One era, you know, those type of new gen, old gen consoles. Because I know they are mainly handheld games for like the 3DS and stuff, and they're insanely popular in Japan. But damn, this one looks good. It really does. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like it'll be a bunch of fun to play, especially on stream, which I'm going to be doing a bunch. Most of my gameplay is probably going to be on stream, and then I'll do highlights and stuff like that for YouTube, and then we'll see what we do with that game. I'm not entirely sure how that game is exactly going to work out for videos, but it's not far off. We're only about 2 months away, 2.5 months away from the game for release, so yeah, I'll definitely be playing the beta once that comes out here in a couple weeks. And that was basically it, but another little plug, I am fairly close to 10,000 followers on Twitch. So in case you're not already following me, feel free to do so. Just a shameless plug, super shameless. I feel no shame at all. Next up, when are the Dark Souls 2 PvP videos coming? Another one that I have been asked quite a bit. And I do apologize that I haven't released any. I know since I started, I was like, oh, we're going to be uploading them in a week or so. But the thing is, I don't really have a proper save spot yet for my second character, which is where the first couple of PvP videos are going to come from. I do want to get through the DLC on my main character, which the next time we stream Dark Souls 2, we are going to be starting the first DLC. I may do a couple PvP videos for Dark Souls 2, but nothing really specific. Like, I probably won't be able to take all weapon requests right away. I'll most likely do, you know, some stuff that I have, because I don't really have all the weapons, especially on my second character. I only have a few, and I still need to get better, man. Like, I am terrible. I have realized a couple things. Buffing is basically like a must-have from what I've seen in Arena. I have played a couple matches. I've won some. I've lost some. Lost most of them. Like, you know, you see the lightning blades and stuff like that. A lot of people definitely use a variety of weapons. Like, I haven't really seen one dominant weapon. You know, I've seen curved swords, people dual wielding great hammers, great axes, which I like. That's good, because that was one of my favorite things about Dark Souls 2, is that almost any weapon is viable, which I guess you can kind of say the same for Dark Souls 3, but I feel like it's even more so on Dark Souls 2. Most likely still going to be doing the quest to get good. At this point, whenever I go into the arena, most of the people that I am facing are people who most likely have been playing that game for a really long time and haven't stopped, while I was never even close to being good at that game, and I haven't played in 2 years, so it might take a little while for me to actually be decent. But those will definitely be coming here fairly soon. Next up, what is your most anticipated game of 2018? So we've seen a lot of great announcements so far for games. It's kind of hard to pick one. You know, you have, like I said, and I mentioned before, you have Monster Hunter, you have Code Vein, Red Dead, new Spider-Man game, Last of Us, maybe Death Stranding. You guys think that game's going to come out in 2018? I don't think that game's going to come out in 2018. That game's going to come out in 2024. But at the moment, I think Red Dead Redemption 2 takes the cake for me. I think that might be my most anticipated game so far for 2018. I'm sure over the next couple months, we're going to get a lot more announcements. And we just had the most recent, what was it, Paris Games Show and Sony did their presentation, and I know like a lot of people really were hoping for that From Software announcement, especially that Bloodborne 2 announcement that people were hoping for. Like, if you were there and you watched it on Twitch especially, just most of the chat, I feel like 80% of the chat, every time a new game came out, they're like, please Bloodborne 2, please Bloodborne 2. It's crazy how big that game would be if it actually came out, but odds are it's not going to come out. You know, they said they're working on their new IPs, and if they already said, you know, specifically 3 new IPs, odds are they're not going to pull a psych. Here's Bloodborne 2, 3, and 4. You know, they're not going to do something like that. So it is kind of a bummer, but I am extremely excited to see something new by From Software, especially if it's Souls-like. But I would probably say Red Dead Redemption at the moment is my most anticipated game. And since I did get asked about this, and it is also one of my most anticipated games, the new God of War, will I be playing it? We have gotten a little bit of footage of it. The gameplay actually looks pretty damn good. It doesn't really look super spammy, kind of the way the old God of Wars were, where basically is you just pressing square over and over. The combat looks different. It looks a little bit more refined. I am definitely looking forward to it. I haven't played a God of War game since the PS2 days, and this one does look like a pretty decent one to get back into it, so I probably will be checking it out once that comes out. And for the last one, it's not exactly a question, it's more of a statement and a request. People say on my Dark Souls 2 videos, please stop summoning, you casual scrub, kill yourself. I added the last part, but I did want to talk about that. So the summoning from now on, when it comes to the actual playthrough, I'm pretty much done with the main game already. You guys have not seen all the playthrough parts, but when it comes to the actual streams, I have already finished the main part of the game except for the final boss, which I am saving until after I finish the DLCs to get that best ending. Now that final boss will be done with co-op from people from the stream. People seem to think this is my first ever playthrough of just Dark Souls 2 in general instead of just Scholar of the First Sin. Just so you guys know, I have played, and I have said this multiple times already, and I'm kind of tired of saying it, but I have played Dark Souls 2 already in its entirety. What I have not played is Scholar of the First Sin with 60 frames per second and the different enemy placements. But I also have not played the DLCs, which I will be going into solo and pretty much completely blind. I have seen a couple of the bosses from the DLCs, you know, just here and there. I haven't really looked them up. I'll tell you exactly which ones I've seen. I've seen Alan, John, the one with the katana. I've seen the poison dragon. I've seen, I think, the last king, the one with the fire. I've seen a little bit of that boss fight. And then I've seen, obviously, the Fume Knight. Those are pretty much the only 4 bosses that I have seen from any of the DLCs. And I think there's maybe one more, like Dark Wraith or something it's called. I'm not entirely sure. And when it comes to the areas themselves, I've also not seen like any playthroughs or anything like that. So for the most part, it is going to be blind. It is going to be solo. And I will probably try to ignore the chat, although I will most likely be talking to people from the chat. And that is going to be starting here fairly soon, maybe even on the weekend. So be sure to follow me on Twitter. Be sure to follow me on Twitch as well, so you don't miss those streams, because those are going to be a lot of fun live. But either way, that is going to be it for today's Q&A video. Thank you so much for watching. If you are still watching, a like is very much appreciated. I hope you enjoyed it. And if I get more questions, then I can do more of these videos more often. Either way, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace, everybody.